He got problems, she got problems, only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? It's time for another story time, and welcome back to Tyler the Villain series. Now, in the beginning of this story, Tyler is not the villain. He is molding into the villain by the end. So that's why this one is in this playlist, and it'll make sense. It'll make sense. So, you know that saying, be careful of the company you keep? Birds of a feather flock together, etc., etc. Or you remember how your mama used to say, if you jump out the bridge, if your friends jump out the bridge, are you jumping too? Basically, like, be careful of the people that you have around you. And in some sort of way, it makes sense. Even when me and Ty talk now, when I be like, birds of a feather flock together, and he was like, that's not true. That's not true. It's true. Even if you're not doing the things that those people are doing or that has a reputation of doing, they're going to assume you are doing the same things. Lived it. Because I used to be like that too. It's like, just because this person is doing that don't mean I'm doing that, but they cool people. But because I was hanging out with that person and associated with that person, they automatically thought I was like that person. Yeah. Anyway, so let's get into it. Any of us who have experienced high school know high school is hell. High school is hell. Hell. It's hell. High school is hell. And to survive it is the survival of the fittest, to be really totally honest. And I know a lot of people think if you're popular, your high school years are easy. Like, there's nothing absolutely wrong with your high school years because you're popular. You get everything you want. You're the pretty girl. You're the popular boy. You're the athlete. Everybody's just flocks to you. You have the latest brand. You have the looks. You have the boyfriend. You have the girlfriend, etc., etc. And that's just not necessarily true. That's just not necessarily true. I keep telling people, you never know what goes on behind closed doors, and you never know what people get or how they got it. You never know what they're doing to maintain it. So you should never be envious. Anyway, Tyler has always been different. He has, in the beginning, Tyler had always had his own style. He really didn't care about clothes or brands or anything like that. He would do his own thing. He was very extremely confident. After Tyler went and spent the summer with his sperm donor, he was different. He was different. He came back different. It literally was like watching a death. The child that I sent to his father, it was not the same child that came back to me. It was not the same child that came back to me. I felt like my child died when he came back, because it was like, who, like, bam, who is Medea? What is this? Who is that? Who? So high school wasn't, oh my god. Ty, when Ty started his high school years, he was starting at a very new school. We had just moved in with Amber, and everybody was new except one person. Like, they had moved to the same, like, we had moved from the east side to the north side. So when he went to the new school, he was like, oh, I saw somebody that went to my old middle school. It was one person. Everybody else was completely new. This school was extremely bigger than his old middle school. It was nobody he was familiar with, none of the teachers he was familiar with. You were starting anew, literally. And that was part of the argument that actually got me to stay in the area that we were, because he was like, I don't want to start a new high school in a new state, because I was over the state that we lived in. It was like, let's move, it's a new start, let's get out of here. This doesn't have anything else for us anymore. And he begged and pleaded. Also, Amber begged and pleaded as well. At the time, she was like, that's too far, it's too far. So that was the point that won the argument for him, that got me to stay. It wasn't necessarily Amber. It was him. It was him saying like, hey, I'm starting high school. This is my high school career. I don't want to start high school in a different state. I'm already starting a new school. This is already hard for me. I don't even like school, which he has been very vocal about. He did not like school, which was always baffling to me. It was because it's like, you're so smart. Like, if you block out the BS, you'll be fine. Like, I keep telling, it was like, you'll be fine. You don't understand. You don't understand. You know how these kids are like, you don't understand. It's like, baby, we lived it. We lived it. We didn't even have cell phones, and we lived it. So it was worse for us, because y'all are able to prove, as I said to him yesterday, y'all are able to prove this is a lie. This is a lie. This is a lie. This is a lie. Baby, we ain't had no cell phones. We ain't had no computers in our hand. It was my word against your word. And whoever they believed they ran with, whether it was true or not. And it didn't die down because there wasn't another story coming out 2 seconds later or the next day that would take your mind off of it. You had to, as long as they dragged it out, and you had to live with it. Anyway, so he was starting his high school years in a new school, new friends, new people, also trying to figure it out, because you had been to your father for a month and it did not go well. It did not end well. And that was the beginning of this angry monster type situation, to the point where we was always beefing. Oh my God, we were always beefing. Always beefing. Always beefing. So we moved out of Amber's place and we are in our own place, and it had started to get a little better, because it was like you were in your own space. We wasn't sharing a space anymore. You were in your own space. You were kind of getting the rhythm, far as I thought. You were kind of getting the rhythm. You were able to go outside. You were able to be around these friends, because when it was time for us to move into our own place, I gave you the decision. Do you still want to finish your high school years here, or we can move back where we were? We can move back to the east side and you can finish your high school there. And you chose to stay on the north side. So, because I was like, I'm not in high school, I'll drive to work. Whatever. I'm trying to do whatever possible to try to make my life a little easier and try to help your mental. So, he chose to stay on the north side. So, it's like, okay, cool. Right? So, at this point in time, like, things are kind of mellow. It's not bad, it's mellow. So it's like you're not getting in trouble every day. You may get in trouble once a week. You may get in trouble every 2 weeks, but it's not every day at this point. So you are flowing. You are kind of maneuvering. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, there's some healing in the process going on. There's something going on with it. You know what I'm saying? Like that, maybe we're moving in a better direction. Maybe we're getting over the summer that you went with your father, because at this point in time, it has been like a year or two later. Like, you're going to leave that in the past and we're going to move forward, is what I'm thinking. So, lo and behold, like, as usual, as y'all have seen, like, Clean With Me, like, I would go and I let Ty's room go to a certain extent, and then it's like, okay, I'm taking over and I'm gonna clean up because there's a smell coming out. There's certain smells. I have a little bit of OCD. It's just certain things in certain ways. I want my house to smell. I don't want no stink place. I don't care where I am, even in the extended stay. baby, no, we can't stink in here. It's too small. And even wherever we are, it can't stink in here. I don't want it to stink. I want my stuff to smell good. This is what I'm paying for. I want it to be peaceful. Clean, smelling good, peaceful. So I went into his room and I found this note because I always check the papers to make sure like it's not something that I don't need to throw away because Ty hoards receipts and papers that he don't need. So I'm looking at it and I was like making sure like I'm opening, make sure it's not homework, making sure it's something that I don't need to throw away. Well, lo and behold, it was a note. And so you were talking to this young lady and I could tell like you had feelings for her that was past friendship. So I put the note up in your drawer because it was like, oh, okay, cool, it's whatever. So once he got home from school, I'm asking him like, hey, so who's this person? What we're gonna call her? Cause oh, Gold Coca, cause she used that as a description. Gold Coca. Coca is the word that I'm able to use on YouTube in the place of that was her description of herself. Yeah. So Gold Coca. I was like, who is this? Who is this? Because one thing about Tyler, when he falls hard, and it takes him a while to fall, but when he falls hard for you. So I was like, who is this? Who's the young lady? And so he was like, you went through my things. And I was like, I was cleaning. And I was like, and I was making sure it was something that I didn't need to throw away. And I was like, I put it back. And I was like, but who is this? Because you have strong feelings for her. And at this point in time, you're in the age because I need to know if you're active. And I am 100% honest. I am 100% transparent. If you are active, and this will be my questions. If you're active, no. But if you are active and you're afraid to tell me, I just need to know so we can go get you some protection because, sweetheart, I'm not taking care of any babies. I'm not. So if you are active, I would prefer you have a condom than to be in a situation and need it and not have one. So I just need to know if you're active because I'm not going to trip. All I'm telling you is I need you to be careful and protect yourself and also be aware what that comes with because there's adults who can't handle the mental and the emotional part of being sexually active. So be careful. Straightforward, honest. There's no need for me to try to beat you up. There's no need for me to try to scare you. I need you to be aware so you can protect yourself. Because, baby, I got time to try to scare you because when you out there and I'm not in your presence, you going to do what you want to do anyway. So I need you to be smart about your decisions and not fearful. So he was like, no, I'm not active. I'm not active. Like, I'm telling you the truth. Like, I'm not active. And I was like, oh, okay, so tell me about this. Tell me about Gold Coca. And so he was like, oh, she's a friend. Like, she's literally like a ray of sunshine to me. Like, I'm always depressed. I don't want to be here. I don't want to live. He always and tried multiple times to unalive himself. I don't want to be here. And he's like, so she understands me. And that's the scary thing that I have for him all the time is because sometimes people see your vulnerable state and they use that against you for their benefit. Not necessarily to help you, but to use that for their benefit. Hence, enemy. Not enemy, envy in that story, in the past story time. So, anyway. So that was my biggest fear for him. And I was like, well, okay, but I'm going to try to give you the benefit. I'm going to try to give her the benefit of the doubt. Right. So I was like, I'm going to let you have it, which is what I do. I kind of fall back a little bit because Ty is quick to say, you're so mean to my friends. Because once I meet them, I read them. and I be spot on. And it's not something that I try to do intentionally all the time. It just happens. It's just a gift. It's a blessing and a curse, to be totally honest, because when I read certain people, it's like, and it be people I want to fuck with, and it mess with. It be people I want to mess with, and it's like, I'm wrong, I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I don't be wrong, and I want to be wrong, but I don't. It's like Mr. Monk. If anybody ever watched Monk, it's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing and a curse. Anyway, so yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna fall back. Like I'm gonna let you do however you want to do until it becomes a problem, right? So he's still at this time in his depressive state, and in his depressive state, Ty does not want to brush his teeth. He does not want to take a shower. He does not want to cut his hair. He barely wants to comb his hair. Like he is a walking zombie. And as a parent, you're doing anything and everything to try to revive, to help, to cater, to cover, to boost. Ooh. And as I said in the crazy neighbor story, I felt for the mom because I lived it. Her case was extreme. I couldn't imagine. Anyway, yeah, so like I'm kind of chilling back, like, and kind of watching, even though he's still in like a depressive state, he's kind of maneuvering better, because when you're around her, she would do her work. So it was like, okay, you can do your work, right? And so like this one day we're talking, and I was like, how did you meet her? And so he was like, oh, we just started talking because she started venting about her ex-boyfriend. And I was like, oh, okay. And that, again, Ty seems to be a great listening ear, and B, he can give advice to people according to him. He can give great advice, but when it comes to himself, like a surgeon, I'm a great surgeon. I can operate and I can fix you, but when it comes down to me and when it's time for an operation that I need, I can't operate on myself. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, okay, so like she trusts you, so to speak. He was like, yeah, something like that. She trusts me. So we started talking, we started vibing. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So time goes on, and I'm noticing, like, again, it's time for me to clean your room, and there's notes, plethoras of notes everywhere. And you're expressing your feelings, and you're saying how you're falling for this girl, right? So lo and behold, this one particular day, Ty comes and he was like, I need to ask you a question. And I was like, okay, what's up? And he's like, how would you take it if you were told something by someone about somebody you like? And I was like, you don't have to be more specific than that. What you talking about? And so he was like, okay. So, Gold Coca ex-boyfriend approached me. And I was like, okay. And so he was like, no, hear me out. And I was like, I'm listening. And so he was like, Gold Coca ex-boyfriend approached me, and he was basically like, listen, I just came to warn you because she's not who you think she is, and you need to stay away from her. I said, so they still dealing with each other? He trying to scare you? I'm a little confused. What this came out of the blue? What's going on? What's going on? He was like, well, Gold Coca has some issues going on at home. Okay, so trauma bonding. That's how y'all really got to vibing, because you have issues. She has issues going on at home. It flows. It meshes. It makes sense. So I was like, oh, okay. So I'm listening again, not trying to judge, but then again, my face, fluent facial expressions. Like there's times when I don't say nothing, but my face be going off, and I be trying to be like, girl, pull back, but can't help it. So I'm like, oh, okay. And so he's like, hear me out. And I was like, I'm listening. Again, face, mouth not saying nothing. Face is talking. So he was like, yeah. So like she got a lot of stuff going on at home with her dad. Like she beefs back and forth with her dad. And I was like, oh, okay. And so he was like, and there's times where I have to, talk to her in the middle of the night. Now let me give you the backstory on it. So there was one particular night, like Ty has on the weekend. Ty has a curfew, basically, and I know y'all like he got a curfew on the weekend, right? During the school time, during Monday through Friday, Ty needs to be in bed by 9. You don't like to get up. It takes you forever to get dressed. You need to be in bed by 9 so you can get your out of there to go catch the bus. Cause y'all have to be to school early. School open, I think like 6:20. First class, first bell, if I'm not mistaken, was like 6:45. You need to be in bed by 9. Weekend, I honestly don't care what time you go to bed, but the latest to me is like 3 o'clock. There's nothing that you need to be up watching and got going on at 3 a.m. in the morning. You ain't got nothing going on. Take the bed. By 2 o'clock, you need to be in the bed. Most of the time you was on a video game, not really tripping. If you want on punishment, not really tripping. The only issue I would have would be like, y'all know, in the middle of the night, let's go! Yo! Oh my! Hey! Take it to bed. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. That would be the only issue. Well, this one particular night, it's a school night, and it's 1 and 2 in the morning, and I hear you talking on your cell phone. I hear you saying, no, it's okay. No, I understand. No, just listen to me. Please. Go, can please listen to me. No, I just need you to listen to me. I just need you to calm down. Like, you wake me up out of my sleep. Now, those who have been here for a while and those who know me know, you've heard me saying, baby, when I'm asleep, I'm slump, I'm out. So if you wake me up, you're loud. You're loud. And that means you're waking me up like I'm jumping. So I'm hearing you on the phone because you have a cell phone at this time. Oh no, please listen to me. I'm trying to explain to you. If you just calm down, just listen to me. You just calm down, please. Just listen to me. I must be losing my mind because I know that ain't my kid on the phone. I know I don't hear my kid talking. I know I don't hear my kid talking at 1 or 2 in the morning and it's a school night. So I go to your room because your room was right next to mine in this apartment. I go out of my door and cut down a little because it was a quick little cut down, like a little hall. It literally was like a pinch of a hall for me to cut down to go to your room, and you're on the phone. And I'm saying, hang the phone up. Hang the phone up. No, Ma, listen, just let me explain. Let me explain. Hang the phone up. Because I know good and well you ain't on the phone, and whoever is on the other end, y'all ain't got nothing going on either because it's 2 or 3 in the morning. No, Ma, please let me explain. Let me explain. So she heard me, and then you say, I'll just talk to you tomorrow and hang up. So when she hangs up, you get upset and lose it. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm trying to help my friend. I'm trying to help my friend. And here you are ruining everything like she needed me. She needed me. I don't know who in the month you think you talking to. Maybe you sleepwalking at this point. Who you think you talking to? No, she don't. She needed me. She needed me. Tyler, it's 1 or 2 in the morning. There's absolutely nothing that child. So while editing, I find out the microphone dies.
And when the microphone dies, it doesn't give you a warning. It doesn't give you anything on the screen. I'm just talking. And there's no audio. It doesn't switch back to like regular audio. Like it doesn't, like, you know, when your Bluetooth die, your phone, like you can hear on your phone. If your car disconnect, you can hear on your phone. When this microphone dies, like, baby, it's nothing. Nothing. You need to unplug it. So the ending of this story time is mute. Like, I'm just going. Because there's no warning. There's no beep. There's no nothing. Like, I hear nothing. Nothing to alert me to say, hey, the microphone died. And truth be told, I'm not even feeling the microphone. I'm not feeling it. Like, me editing, listening, and I'm like, I'm not feeling the microphone. I think it takes away from our authentic FaceTime call with us talking, to be totally honest. But I got it because, especially if I'm like, if I'm telling the story times back at the unit and I'm kind of low because I have neighbors and I'm trying to respect my neighbors even though they don't respect me. Well, the upstairs ones, my neighbors on the side of me don't bother me, and my neighbor below me don't bother me. It's just the upstairs. But yeah. So that's really why I bought it. And truth be told, like, I haven't fully charged it. So maybe if I fully charge it, I don't know. I'm trying to make excuses. Anyway, let me finish the story time. So, okay. I'm saying, Tyler, that it's 1 or 2 in the morning. There's nothing you can do for her. There's absolutely nothing important that you can do for her. So he's stressing the fact that, no, she needed me. She needed me. She needed me. Tyler. Hold on, y'all. There's nothing you could do for her. No. Like, I'm trying to convince her to go to therapy. I'm trying to convince her to go to therapy because there was an incident between her and her dad. There's an incident between her dad and her mom. And I'm trying to convince her, like, you need to go to therapy. You need to go to therapy. First of all, it's 1 or 2 in the morning. There's no therapist open. The only person that's the therapist that's talking to her is the unaliving line that's 24 hours, or she's being committed. That she's being committed. Like, somebody's coming to pick her up. If there's an incident going on between her and her mom or her and her dad, you can't do nothing. You don't have a car. You can't go over there. You can't fight the man. They need to be calling the police, not you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? No, you don't understand. She needs me. She needs me. And I'm trying to tell you, she's using you. She's using you. No, love. No. And if she was your real friend, or if there was an incident, the thing to do or how to go about that is, Ma, I need you to wake up. My friend needs me. It's an emergency and I need to talk to her right quick. And then we need to assess the situation so I can tell you. She don't need to be calling you. She needs to be calling the police if there's an incident that can't wait till y'all get to school tomorrow. Because 1 or 2 in the morning, not making sense to me because there's no therapist open. Her therapist don't open till 8 o'clock a.m. If her therapist is coming to the school, her therapist not getting there till 8 o'clock. So at this point in time, there's absolutely nothing you can do for her. She know you. She's not supposed to be on the phone with you at a certain time. She know you're in bed at a certain time. So at this point in time, you disrespected me, and so is she. Which is why when she heard my voice, she hurried up and got out the phone because she knew what she was doing. See, what some of y'all dudes fail to realize, and y'all don't get it because y'all be blinded and y'all really be feeling the chick. Y'all don't get that we clocking that other chick T. We clocking it. Because either 1, we did it, or 2, it happened and we seen it somewhere else, and so we can clock it when something don't feel right. Because people know what they can and cannot get away with. So they'll try it. just to see how far I can push this. You're trauma bonding. She's pulling off you. Like, she's pulling off your emotions. She's feeding off your emotions. She loves the fact that you run to rescue her. Because what could you do? What can you do? Anyway, so you're upset. You're ticked off because I'm telling you to hang up the phone. And you, of course, are losing. You don't understand. You don't understand. I'm depressed. I'm like, she understands me. She gets me. No, she don't. But I'm letting you rant and rave. Right? And so, Tyler, go to bed. It's literally my thing. Go to bed. Close my door, lock my door, and I go to sleep. So, of course, when Tyler gets upset, but he wants you to hear, you know how well with us, you know how when our mama used to do us, so we used to get in trouble, we used to get a beating, and then behind closed doors, we used to, and we was gonna run away, or we thought we was big and bad and had no idea what was really out there and what was being saved from. And even though, like, we not taking accountability for the BS that we was told not to do multiple times, that we did it anyway, and now we got in trouble and then we mad. Yeah. So you upset because you can't have your way and you feel like you are Captain Save-A-Ho. And at this point in time, you hate me, you do that a lot. You do that a lot. And at this point in time, that is wearing off because you've been doing it so much. Not saying that you don't have issues. What I'm saying is you don't want to heal that part because the pity party, the emotions, the serotonin that you get from that, the emotional high that you get from the pity, that feels good to you because that's comfort. Because before, in the beginning, people run to you. Now people are not. You know, it's like a toddler. It's like a baby. It's like, oh, if I do this, I could get the attention. When y'all realize that this toddler is smarter than you realize, it's like, oh, you know, I'm not doing that anymore. Yeah, I'm not feeding into that anymore. Because there's a way to go about things. There's a way to do things. And she's playing you. So until you realize it, it's whatever. So anyway, you go to school. Again, I go to work. I leave before you. You go to school. And it's, of course, in the morning, it's silent. So with it being silent, it's not like that's normal to me. Whenever you're in your emotions or you're going through stuff, you're silent. And when you're over it, or whoever starts back talking to you or says something that, okay, I'm over that, and now I can start back talking to my mom, because when somebody else piss you off, you take it out on me, and I'm just not with the bullshit no more. So when you tell people, for those who are unaware, oh, my mom hates me, she doesn't like me, she can't stand me, or those who feel like I'm hating on him, is because you're unaware of the BS that I've been dealing with for all this time. Because you're new to the game. Anyway, so there's a silence. So of course I'm waiting for you once you get home to explain. After, Mom, I'm sorry. Because after you go talk to other people and they tell you you're overreacting or you're stupid or your mom is right, then you come back to, oh, okay, let me look at this a different way, instead of acting high off emotion, which is why I tell people, don't act out of anger, don't act off emotion, because when you look back and you look at it with a different lens, it looks a different way. Anyway, so you come home from school and it's, Mom, sorry, can we talk? So I understand. Let me apologize, because yes, it was after curfew, but she needed me. And she needed me, to convince her to go to therapy. And I'm saying, Tyler, make that make sense. You're fighting mental issues. You're depressed. Why are you convincing somebody who needs therapy or who's actually going to therapy to go to therapy? You're having troubles with your dad. Your dad is having troubles. There's issues between your dad and your mom. They have therapy to help you cope with what's going on at home, and you need convincing at 1 or 2 in the morning when the therapist is not open to go to therapy. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. She want me to, to apologize and said she didn't mean to disrespect you. She did. She just didn't think she was gonna get caught, or she didn't think I was gonna say something, because people who get away with stuff, normally when they're caught or when they try stuff, they're seeing how far they can go. And then when they're caught, or when you catch on to, you clock their T, then it's like, oh, okay, like she know what I'm doing, so let me apologize because I didn't mean to do it. You did. You just didn't mean to get caught, or you didn't think your T was gonna be clocked. Anyway, so he was like, but what if somebody came up to you and told you, like, what if they came up to you and told you something and you don't know what to believe? Tyler, what are you talking about? No, I just need you to hear me out. And that's Tyler. Like, Tyler likes to give people the benefit of the doubt. A lot of my, I think it's a man thing. I think y'all like to give women that you really like the benefit of the doubt instead of looking at it for what it is. Like, because I literally just told my homeboy the other day, like, I mean, yesterday, I was like, you say I cut people off too quick, but when you start saying the stuff that people do to you out loud, you realize, like, these people really don't like me. Like, it's not they was having a bad day. Oh, let me forgive them. It's a repeated action. They don't like you. And that's what I was telling Todd. And I was like, and it's not that I cut people off quick. I take note of the little stuff that you do. It's a joke. Or the things that you say and it's a joke. No, like, I take note of that stuff. And I don't know why he don't take note of that stuff. It's like, pay attention to the stuff when people be telling you, like, stay away from a person. Like, people are telling you stuff for a reason. Don't get me wrong. There are people who, like, just, like, haters. But go in with your eyes open. At least give it the benefit of the doubt. Like, if you proving that, okay, like, yeah, you a hater. Alright. But when people saying certain stuff, pay attention. Where there's smoke, there's fire. One little, and it's a inferno. Anyway. So I was like, so what was told to you? He was like, so the ex-boyfriend came up to me and was like, listen, I really need you to stay away from her. And so I was like, okay, so you feel like the ex-boyfriend is hating? Like, they still together? What's the issue? I don't get what's the problem. And so he was like, no, I don't. He was like, did she tell you why she had to go to therapy? And so I was like, yeah, like her dad. He was like, her dad. He was like, no, that's not the reason. The reason she has to go to therapy is for her anger because she set my clothes on fire. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life, and I'll see you in part 2.